Globalists, yeah. The people who make... Listen, to make money, all we'd need is next week's newspapers today, wouldn't we? Well, if you own next week's newspapers, you know what's going to happen and what's going to be reported, regardless of what the facts are. And that's the position these...
So we're heading for war.
And also, yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Well, we're actually already in it. They're not going to tell the people probably till July or August. Maybe a bit later. And I think Rishi wants out.
But hold on one second. I mean, if we go to war with Russia, we're talking about potentially nuclear war.
I know.
Do they understand what they're playing with?
Well, we have a nuclear...
We're not playing with fire.
I know. And it goes against all our defence thinking.
But even
we have nuclear weapons, so that no one would do that to us. So why would we do it to someone who's got 20 times more 30 times more nuclear weapons than we've got?
And not just that, their air defence capability, the S-500, I mean, it's a million times better than what we've got. We've got nothing compared to that.
We've got nothing that can stop any of their...
What is it? We've got Arrow or something? I mean, that can't do jack shit with their hypersonic missiles.
I've seen a report that we just do not have any defence for the UK against the Russian arsenal.
Because you know they've got hypersonic missiles.
Yeah.
We've got nothing against that.
Nothing against that.
Isaiah 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Yahweh being the name of the Father, who the world everybody calls God. Yahweh, meaning he exists. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Yahushai, who the world everybody calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahushai, meaning he is salvation. Bahashem, in the name. Rakaha Kodash, Spirit Holy. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well, who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth at risk of their own lives throughout the four corners of the earth. To the Akwatim listening and learning in sincerity and in truth and in silence, Shalom. Akyam meaning brothers, Akwatim meaning sisters, Shalom meaning peace be unto you. It's your brother Shema from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto, here with another lesson. We'll get right into it. We saw that sound clip, right, of a podcaster and a British, a UK MP, right? And what stood out to me was the end there. Is we got nothing against them, against Russia. We don't have anything that can stop them, right? And we know there's this war that is coming, World War III, right? Is the war to end all wars. But prior to that, the MOTB, the CHIP, the Revelation 13 verse 16 on down will be mandated, implemented worldwide, right? But between now and World War III, we're going to continue hear of rumors of wars, proxy wars, false flags, psyops, right? But I wanted to touch some scriptures. Isaiah 9, verse 5, and it reads, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, right? Ancient wars were fought on battlefields, confused noise. They were fought with swords and bows, spears, armor, body armor. Right, the confused noise being the noise of war, weapons clanging against one another, battle cries, and garments rolled in blood. Right, because the soldiers, they used to bleed out on the battlefield, man. The injuries. They get maimed. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, right? This what? This war, World War III, burning and fuel of fire. And what's going to cause the burning? Thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? Fuel of fire, right? Scripture say, Zechariah. It's in Zechariah. I think it's 13. Zechariah 14, verse 12, and it reads, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem." Right? What's this plague? The missiles. "Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth." Right? And what's going to cause this? The missiles, man. When the missiles hit, it's a lake of fire. Think of that movie Sarah Connor in the movie Terminator with Sarah Connor, where she's holding on to the fence and she's being burned, she's being dissolved with fire. Right? These missiles are going to cause that. Right? Babylon the Great, America the Great, is going to be pelted with missiles. Right? And never to be inhabited again, totally destroyed, become a land of desert animals, right? But leading up into that, we're going to see proxy wars, false flags, more wars and rumors of wars, mobilization of armies, military exercises, right? I was reading an article this morning how China conducted a military exercise in the body of water surrounding Taiwan. Right? That's mobilizing and preparing their mighty men for war. Joel 3, verse 9, and it reads, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, you other nations. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." Right? So these nations are getting ready for war. They're mobilizing. They're conducting military exercises. I read an article yesterday that Putin had his military conduct nuclear fallout exercises within his army. "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears." Right? Plowshares is farming tools. Right? So these countries that are historically known for agriculture, farming, okay, they've always conscripted their citizens, farmers, agricultural workers, right, into their militaries. Right? Also, they've been known to starve their citizens and dump all their money into their military might. This soundbite that we just listened to, they said they don't have. How are you going to go up against? How are you going to have? How are you going to go up against an adversary that has? How are you going to go up against Russia that has 20 times more ICBMs than you? Right? When Russia was in the Cold War, they had a great famine. Their people were starving. Their economy tanked. But their governments, their rulers, was dumping all their money into uranium rods, military, nuclear technology. Meanwhile, their populaces were starving. It says here, let the weak say I'm strong, right? The weak say I'm strong. These nations that have been historically weaker are now saying they're stronger. North Korea, for example, he's firing off missiles all the time, man. Letting the West know, I don't care what you got, I got it. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. Right. These nations, the World War III will kick off in the Middle East. Right. The Lord is going to put the spirit on all these armies to gather themselves. Right. Down there in the Levant. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Right. The mighty ones being the angels. Right. The angels, the angels are going to be, the angels are going to be guiding. Right. The spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to be guiding the missiles, the armory. And the spirit is good. The spirit of war is going to be on their leaders, their militaries, right? It's the Lord stirring up these nations, right? It's Proverbs 21:1 says, "The heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. He guideth it whithersoever it goeth." Roughly paraphrasing. So whatever moves these leaders make, it's the spirit of the Lord on these rulers, on these generals, on these militaries. Verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, right? The valley of decision, the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment. Shaphat meaning to judge, right? It's going to take place down there in the so-called Middle East. For there, right, down there in the Middle East, the so-called Middle East, will I sit to judge all the heathen round about, right? Because all nations are going to be gathered down there for the war of Armageddon. Armageddon, mountain of troops. It's where judges are. Silakia, Shaphat means to judge. Right? Right? In that soundbite, they said the UK is at war already with Russia. All right, we know according to scripture, Russia is a major player in the firing off of ICBMs, thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles on America. Let's get that one in Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 50, verse 9, and it reads, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, America, an assembly of great nations, right? These other nations are going to ally, an assembly of great nations from the north country, that's Russia. And they shall set themselves in array against her, right? Battle formation. All these nations are going to align with Russia and set themselves in array against her, against America, America the Great. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, right, the missiles, thermonuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, shall be as of a mighty expert man, right, expert man. These missiles, none shall return in vain. Why they're not going to return in vain? The Spirit of the Lord is going to be on these missiles to guide them to hit their mark, right? You heard in the podcast, the MP said, we have nothing that can defend against an ICBM strike from Russia. Right? The Spirit of the Lord is going to be on these missiles. I wanted to read this in the NLT. Jeremiah 50:9. Jeremiah 50:9 in the NLT. For I am raising up an army of great nations from the north. They will join forces to attack Babylon, America, and she will be captured. The enemy's arrows, the missiles, will go straight to the mark. They will not miss, right? The missiles ain't gonna miss, man. Right? The Spirit of the Lord is going to be on those missiles. Revelation 9. No, I wanted Revelation 11. Salakia. Bear with me. Revelation 9. Revelation 9. Revelation 9, verse 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which is before Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Right? These four angels down there in the Levant. Right? Loose and do what? And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men, right? So the Spirit is going to be on the so-called Middle East, right, which is West Asia, right, to turn it up, to be in war, to be at war, right? It says here to slay the third part of men. The third part of men being the sons of the wicked, Esau, Edom. Right, you have the sons of the wicked, who is Esau, Edom, the sons of men who are the other nations, the sons of God, who's Yasharallah, Jacob. He is the prince of the power. And the number of the army of the horsemen being the missiles, were 200,000. And I heard the number of them, right, 200,000, which is 200 million warheads in the heads of those missiles, being described here as horsemen by John the Revelator. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, the missiles, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, the warheads, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these three was the third part of men killed, right? Esau's technology, Esau's military, Esau's knowledge on the left-hand side, right? The third part of men, Esau, Edom, and by smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths, the missiles. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. The tails is the propulsion of the missiles, right? John the Revelator saw missiles, and he described it the best way he could, as horses, horsemen, right, having breastplates of fire, right, and the heads of horses were as the heads of lions. Right? Verse Revelation 9:19. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, the propulsion. For the tails were like unto serpents, and heads, Salakia, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Right? These missiles, right, are going to cause destruction to Babylon the Great, America the Great. Right? But what we see taking place is proxy wars, military exercises, right? What we see taking place right now, the buildup, right? But the MOTB, the Revelation 13, verse 16 on down, has to happen first, Once we see the MOTB implemented, mandated worldwide, know that World War III is right there, right behind it, and then deliverance. Verse 20, and the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk, right? Esau's nobles, right? They're not going to be killed by these plagues, the missiles. They're going to be hiding in their bunkers. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, right? They're not going to turn back from their murders, right? Esau's nobles are drunken with the bloods of the saints, the blood of the saints, nor of their sorceries, their witchcraft, their left hand knowledge, nor of their fornication, right? They have the whole world drunk with their fornication, right? Their philosophy, right? The whole world's drunk with worshiping. 2/3 of our people is drunk with worshiping other gods. That's spiritual fornication, right? Esau put this veil on the world. Verse 21, Revelation 9 and 21. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts, right? They stole everything, man, right? And they're going to have to go into hardcore slavery for 1,000 years, right? Because if Esau was to rise from the ashes like he thinks he's going to do, after the destruction, he thinks he's going to rise from the ashes. If Esau was to rise from the ashes and have his, still be in the power seat, right? His sorceries, he build it back up through his murders, his sorceries, his fornication, and his thefts. Right, so they got to be ruled. They're going to be ruled. They're going to be in subjection, ruled with a rod of iron for 1,000 years, and then Obadiah 18. So with that, Qala Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and others, a great millstone to teach one and rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect.